विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो नमस्कार. या माझ्या यूट्यूब चॅनलमध्ये मी आपल्या सर्वांचं स्वागत करतो. या व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण एन्व्हायरमेंटल स्टडीज या विषयांतर्गत विविध मुद्द्यांचा अभ्यास करत आहोत. ज्यांनी अद्याप चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब केलं नाही अशांनी चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब करावं, जेणेकरून नवे व्हिडिओज तुम्हाला लगेच त्याचं नोटिफिकेशन मिळत जाईल. म्हणून तुम्ही सर्वांनी सबस्क्राईब करा अशी सुरुवातीला विनंती करतो. आणि आज आपण आपल्या नव्या टॉपिककडे जाऊया. डिअर स्टुडंट्स, in this video we are going to study the topic poaching of wildlife. Identification of targets. In India, poachers often target high value species such as tigers for their skin and bones, elephants for their tusks, rhinos for their horns, and various birds and reptiles for the exotic pet trade. For example, the Royal Bengal tiger is frequently targeted in India for its bones, which are used in traditional medicine, and its skin, which is sold on the black market. How this poaching is carried out? The second point is planning and logistics. Poaching operations in India are often sophisticated, involving local informants, guides, and transportation networks. Poachers may use traps, poison, and firearms to capture or kill animals. For example, in Kaziranga National Park, Assam poaching networks use local villagers for information and logistics to poach one-horned rhinoceros for their horns. The execution of poaching. The actual act of poaching involves trapping, shooting, or otherwise capturing the animals. Poachers may use various methods such as snares, poison, or tranquilizers. For example, in the forest of Madhya Pradesh, poachers use steel traps to catch tigers and other large mammals. The next step is transport and sale. Once captured or killed, the animal or its parts are transported through illegal routes to buyers, often involving corrupt officials and sophisticated smuggling techniques. For example, pangolins are smuggled from India to Southeast Asia, where their scales are highly valued in traditional medicines. So, what are the effects of poaching? Species decline and extinction. Poaching has significantly reduced the population of many species, pushing them towards extinction. For example, the Indian rhinoceros population has dramatically declined due to poaching, making it a critically endangered species. Ecosystem imbalance is the another effect of poaching. The removal of key species disrupts ecosystem, leading to imbalance that affect other species and the environment. For example, the decline in tiger population in India's forests has led to an increase in herbivorous populations, which affects vegetation and forest health. Another effect is loss of biodiversity. Poaching reduces genetic diversity and the overall health of ecosystems, making them less resilient to environmental changes and diseases. For example, the poaching of various bird species in the Western Ghats for the pet trade has led to a significant loss of avian biodiversity. Economic impact is also effect of poaching. Poaching undermines local economics that rely on wildlife tourism and conservation effects. It also increases costs of law enforcement and anti-poaching initiatives. For example, wildlife tourism in state of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Kerala suffers when poaching reduces to number of iconic species like tigers and elephants. Another effect is human-wildlife conflict. The reduction in wildlife population can lead to increased human-wildlife conflicts as animals search for food in human-occupied areas. For example, in areas where elephants are poached, surviving elephants may raid crops and villages in search of food, leading to conflicts with the local communities. If the poaching of wildlife has various adverse effects over environment, then we have to think about the remedies for poaching. So what are the remedies? The first one is stronger legislation and enforcement. Implementing and enforcing strict laws against poaching and wildlife trafficking. These include harsher penalties for poachers and traffickers. For example, the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 provides a legal framework for the protection of wildlife in India, including severe penalties for poaching. Another way is anti-poaching patrols, establishing well-trained and well-equipped rangers unit to patrol protected areas and combat poaching activities. For example, the Special Tiger Protection Force (STPF) in India is deployed in critical tiger habitats to prevent poaching and protects tigers. Another way of remedy over poaching is community involvement. Engaging local communities in conservation efforts by providing them with alternative livelihood and involving them in decision-making processes. For example, the village eco-development programs VEDPs around national parks and wildlife sanctuaries involve local communities in conservation activities and provide them with sustainable livelihood options. The another way of reducing poaching is demand reduction, raising awareness and reducing demand for illegal wildlife products through education and public awareness campaigns. For example, campaigns like Save the Tiger and Say No to Ivory aim to reduce the demand for tiger products and ivory in India. International cooperation. Strengthening international cooperation to track and dismantle wildlife trafficking networks. This includes information sharing, joint operations, and capacity building. For example, India collaborates with neighboring countries through platforms like the South Asia Wildlife Informants Network SAWEN7 to combat wildlife crime and poaching. Technological solutions. Utilizing modern technology such as drones, camera traps and DNA analysis to monitor wildlife and track poachers. For example, the use of camera traps in India's national parks has helped authorities monitor tiger population and catch poachers in the act. In this way, we have seen the process of poaching, the effects of poaching and remedies for preventing poaching in India. संपूर्ण व्हिडिओ काळजीपूर्वक पाहिल्याबद्दल धन्यवाद. मित्रांनो, या व्हिडिओवर आधारित वस्तुनिष्ठ प्रश्नांची मालिका सुद्धा मी या चॅनलवरती प्रसारित केली आहे. आपण प्लेलिस्टमध्ये जाऊन या विषयावरील MCQ अभ्यासावेत. आणि हो, चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब केलं नसेल तर पुन्हा एकदा विनंती, सबस्क्राईब करा आणि या व्हिडिओची लिंक तुमच्या मित्रांना फॉरवर्ड करा. धन्यवाद.